Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Surviving Mars. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day, because I'm certainly excited to be back here on the Red Planet, where things could be going better. We currently have a whole bunch of solar panels offline, a bunch of oxygen tanks are offline, one of the water tanks is offline, I believe the machine parts factory is offline, and generally speaking, a whole bunch of things currently need repairs because we are perpetually low on metal. We're also quite low on food at the moment, but fortunately both of our farms are working towards eventually, hopefully, giving us a reasonable crop. Hopefully. That's a big hopefully, but hopefully we'll get a decent crop from some of our farms there. We do have some of the shuttles going back and forth there, grabbing different resources for different purposes. You, for example, have nothing, so I don't know what you've just taken up north, but a few of those shuttles seem to be moving some resources back and forth. A bunch of the solar panels are back online, which is good news, but we could definitely do with a few more of them being online. I also want to go ahead and zoom in here real quick, because apparently we have a couple of people that are homeless, which is, of course, a bit of a problem. So what I'm thinking we could maybe do is we could maybe switch this dome back online, take quarantine off, switch out the style of the dome, and then maybe what we do is we turn this dome slowly into the place that people move when they have nowhere else to go. So, I mean, the apartments need concrete and polymer, which I think we have plenty of, so I think some apartments there could be an idea. Possibly just some living quarters, but I think we'll go with apartments, and then I think what we're gonna do is just put some farms in there. Honestly, I think farms are gonna be something that'll be really useful to have in, you know, a dome kind of dedicated to nothing but farming. So we could put a couple of farms in there. I think what we'll do is, I mean, what do we need for farms? They need 6 workers for a single shift. And the apartment can house 24 people. So there's enough people to work on 4 farms. So what if we build 3 farms, and then we build another apartment building, which can go, say, oh, we actually have something right there. Well, that might be why I could never bulldoze that dome. That right there could be why I couldn't bulldoze it. Anyway, let's get these crops sorted. We're gonna go for cover crops, we're gonna go for potatoes, and then we're gonna go for soybeans. And then this one is going to be exactly the same thing. Cover crops, followed by potatoes, followed by soybeans. And again, the same thing. Cover crops, then potatoes, and then soybeans. But what I'm thinking we could do is, not a research lab, get another apartment building and put it there. And then what we'll do is also go to services. We'll put a grocer into that spot. We'll put an infirmary into that spot, and they're not going to be too happy without things like social, so the diner would give them some social. So we'll get a diner in there as well.
We have a food shortage.
And honestly, it might even be worth getting rid of one of the farms and putting some more social buildings in there. Even like parks would do the job. Either way, we do actually have a decent number of people living in this dome. All of the farms are working somewhat.
Research complete.
So that's all right. We also have the arcology, which sort of invalidates the thing I just did with that new dome, but whatever, that's fine. Or not the new dome, the old dome, but you know what I mean. Either way, we are low on food right now, which is of course a major problem, but we are hopefully looking at getting ourselves a bunch of soybeans any moment, and also potentially getting ourselves even more soybeans. So we might be about to have a harvest that will feed... Yeah, so there we go. We have a harvest. This one will probably be tomorrow, so that'll solve the issues with starving colonists, hopefully. Anyway, let's take a look at the arcology. What do we need for it? 80 concrete and 10 polymers. And it looks like that. That's actually quite tempting. That is actually quite tempting. It would solve a lot of the issues that we're having in this dome with homelessness, and it would potentially open up the space for more people working. So I think we will try and build the arcology in that dome. And apparently this dome here is short on water, which does kind of make sense. We don't have the metal needed to fix that moisture evaporator just there, so that does make perfect sense. What are you dropping off there? I have no idea. Possibly polymer? I think it is polymer, actually. It might be polymer for repairing some of the batteries. Just a shame they're not dropping off any metal, because that would have done wonders for us. I guess we really are going to have to expedite the process of getting this metal done here. We really, really do need to get this dome up and running. So it needs concrete, it needs metal, it needs polymer. We need drones down there. We kind of need everything down there. So what if we were to bring in another rocket? We have got some money, so I'm thinking a cargo rocket that has a rover, for one, because I think that's going to be super useful. And I'm thinking we don't need more drones. We do need some food. We'll bring a little bit of that. We do need some electronics. We need quite a few of those, so we'll bring 50 of them. Obviously, $1,000 million is a lot of money, but we'll bring it anyway. We do need metal, so I'm going to bring as much of that as I can possibly bring, which is going to be 35, and that'll do. Launch the Enterprise. And hopefully that'll do good things for us. We do absolutely need to solve this problem with the dome not having water, but I mean, what can I say? I mean, maybe just turn off one of the farms for the time being. Push you guys out into the other farms. Doesn't really solve the issue of, you know, colonists that are currently dehydrating, but it's really all we can do, I suppose. I'm also noticing that my 2 transports are sat just there, so I'm wondering if, for one, we should send them down to recharge. So just something like that. We'll get them recharged, and then hopefully we can have them go out and find a bit more metal, because again, we gotta get this moisture evaporator up and running. We gotta get the water tank fixed. We gotta get all of these solar panels fixed as well. And we really, really got to do something about the whole situation with not having... Are any of you offline? No. We got to do something about the situation with just not having enough metal. We've really, really got to do something about that whole situation. Anything over here that'll be interesting? There is actually a decent amount of metal just there. So let's have you come over and grab metal and take it to there. And I think we'll have you do exactly the same thing. We'll have transport number 2 go and do the same thing. So it can head over this way. It can grab as much metal as it can hold. And then it's going to take it over to that stockpile. And hopefully that'll be enough to solve our problems. It looks like, yeah, water shortage in here as well. Oh, wow. Did everybody move into the arcology? Looks like they might have, actually, which is a little nuts. There's 94 of 120 people in that dome. That's a lot of people. That is a lot of people. Have we automated both of these yet? Both of these farms? We actually have, which is good news. They both need fewer workers. So that's kind of nice. Over here, we have 11 of 48 people. So technically, we shouldn't be suffering from homelessness anytime soon. Because, I mean, we do have plenty of space for people to live. We also have the Enterprise almost ready to land, which is fairly big news. So let's have the Enterprise just touched on there. And hopefully what we can do is get everything off of it quick enough to start dealing with the numerous issues that we have. We have 2 pipes that are malfunctioning right now. We have 4 cables that are malfunctioning. So we're losing power left and right. We're losing water and oxygen left and right.
We have a water shortage.
We have 2 domes that are suffering from water shortages. So hopefully we can fix this. Hopefully we can fix this very, very quickly. Fortunately, this moisture evaporator is back online. And I think we could probably go ahead and upgrade that as well, just to get it to be a little bit more efficient. We have one over here as well, which has actually been upgraded, so that's good. This one is in the process of being upgraded. Make sure they're all high priority as well. But hopefully what we can do is... I mean, are we producing enough water? That's the question here. I'm not entirely sure that we are. I'm not entirely sure that we are actually producing enough water. So are these things upgradable? No. Okay. Well, what if we were to build a moisture evaporator sort of out this way? What do we need to build moisture evaporators? We need polymer and metal. I feel like we could build a couple of them. Or even, honestly, just one. You know, one moisture evaporator just there could potentially do some good stuff for us. So I'm thinking we do that kind of thing. Obviously, it needs metal, needs polymer, so we have a metal storage point there. If we do some polymer there, I'm wondering if the shuttles will come over with the resources needed to actually construct this. There's a distinct possibility. There is also the possibility that they won't. So what are you carrying? You're carrying some polymer, which is something that's needed for this thing right here. So the shuttles are going to move stuff about automatically, which is fantastic news. So we'll let them just sort of do their thing. We are apparently still low on food, which really isn't good, but I mean, we do have those 2 farms working there. We have these farms down here that are sort of working. We have this one, which is also, I mean, at least trying to work. I think we probably could go ahead and upgrade that farm a little bit. I don't think that's going to hurt. And it's also looking like most of this stuff up here is coming along, so that's nice. That's definitely nice. Can we maybe go ahead and analyze this anomaly here? You are, I mean, you're doing nothing right now, and you are out of battery, so maybe you go help charge that vehicle up. You guys have been moving metal around, which is great news. It looks like this is also back up and working. So I think, yeah, all of our power generation is back up and running. The Moxies are back up and running. All of our buildings, I believe, are also back up and running. We could probably turn that farm on there as well. Although no one's actually working on it, but, well, there we go. One guy's working on it. So we have all the farms up and running. So I think things are going well at this point. Is anyone in this dome currently unemployed? That's my question. That's what we got to ask here. Is anyone in the dome actually unemployed? Is it actually going to tell me? Is probably the question. Unemployed and looking for work, 0. Okay. That's good. And apparently this dome is also comfortable enough for children to be born, which is also very good news. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we did get a second rover, didn't we? Right there. It has 8 drones, and we have a crop failure in this dome. Great. Can we maybe assign a couple of extra drones to you? Just because I can. So let's assign you to that as well. Let's assign you. And let's assign you as well. So this thing should have 8 drones at this point, which is great news. Because what I'm thinking we're going to do is we're going to come over here. And I think what we should see is the rover pop out of that tunnel, and then the shuttles will start moving the resources this way that are needed for the construction of the drone hub. So metals and also the electronics. I think that's what'll happen here. Which of course would be, yeah, there we go. So the electronics are coming over. And this thing is gradually going to get built. We need a lot of concrete and also machine parts for the tunnels. So let's go ahead and get a machine parts depot here as well. And a concrete depot. So the materials will slowly come down. And we'll slowly start working on these pipes, the drone hub, and the tunnel. Which I think will be excellent. Now let's go ahead and send the Enterprise back to Earth, and let's make sure that our research is going ahead. So at the moment, we are working on resilient architecture, which will mean that out-dome buildings need less maintenance. Gene adaptation will give us new crops in farms and hydroponic farms, which will give better food yields. Then building construction costs reduced by 20%. And then the rare metals extractor production gets increased by 50%. So that's obviously kind of huge news. The space elevator exports rare metals to Earth and offers resupply materials and prefabs at preferential prices. That seems kind of neat. What's this? Sanatorium upgrade, behavioral meddling. Replaces removed flaws with random perks. That's terrifying. That is terrifying. Not a bad idea, but terrifying. I kind of want this, though. I kind of want the Geoscape Dome. That seems like a really cool thing to have. Also, we should go and look at you guys. Wait. Oh, did you serious? Wait. Hold on. Look how much... Is that all metal? What is all this? That all looks like metal, but I don't think it is. That's kind of a shame. Who are you? You are a Martian-born celebrity. Interesting. Okay. That's fair enough. I want to see my rovers here. So you're up and working. Can you analyze that for me? And then you can maybe head over this way and maybe recharge yourself. That seems like a pretty good idea. You are over that way as well. So what I think we'll do is get you to head over and recharge. Because obviously that's kind of a thing you need to do. As for this thing, it is a work in progress, as well as this being a work in progress as well. We have a food shortage with starving colonists. That, again, is really, really bad news. But we are fairly close to a small harvest. So we have that going for us. It really does seem like we're having some trouble with the fields and the food and all that stuff. We're really not having an excellent time, and that's a little bit disappointing. That's just a little tiny bit disappointing. I'm a little frustrated by that. I am wondering though, do the shuttles by chance grab concrete from here? Also, you don't have power. I totally forgot to connect you up with power. Okay. Let's run some power cables from there to there. And hopefully get that built in a reasonable amount of time, because obviously, I mean, we kind of need to get that evaporator connected. As for down here, I mean, you guys are recharging, which is great news. This is apparently being constructed quicker than this. Are we really low on metal again? Do we not have any? It kind of looks like it, doesn't it? Amazing. Somehow we don't have metal again. I don't know how this keeps happening, but apparently it does. Go load up in some metal there for me. And then bring it over this way. If you wouldn't mind, bud. As for you rovers, or sorry, you explorers, go explore that. And go and explore that. So we also just got 750 million in funding for some rare metal exports, which is beautiful news. But again, unfortunately, we have starving colonists. We also have some water shortages here, which is kind of really bad news. Why are we so low on water? Is it potentially just the number of farms that we have? I feel like it could be that. Definitely feel like it could be that. I feel like we just need more water connections. I really feel like we need more water connections, more water sources, and possibly more metal over here as well. This thing needs power quite urgently. Not that I think it'll, you know, solve all of our problems, but it might solve a couple, which would be lovely. Now let's see, this thing still low on metal. What are you up to? You're doing nothing currently. You are loading up on metal. There is more down here, I think. Yeah, that's a pretty good chunk of metal. So let's have you come down and grab all of that. New techs are available for research. Interesting. Go dump that off for me, and let's see what these new techs happen to be. So these new techs, what are we looking at? What are we going to be looking at? It's going to be this right here. License Martian copyrights for use back on Earth. Earn 2,000 million. This tech is repeatable and can be researched multiple times. Okay, that's neat, but I don't really want it. It's a cool idea, but I just don't think we need it. So we'll not bother too much with that. Just got 1,000 research from an anomaly. Not going to complain there. Also looks like we're actually going to get this drone hub up and running, which is fantastic news because that actually means that this guy can move over towards the dome.
Sector scanned.
And we can go ahead and start working on getting that dome up and going. Let's go ahead and continue scanning some sectors in here as well, just to see what's going on. And let's see, this rover is well on its way. Now these things here, these tunnels, the pipes and all that stuff, perfectly serviceable by the drone hub, which is great news. And then this dome and everything around it, this is all perfectly serviceable as well. So it's we're slowly going to begin construction on that, which is great. You're also a little low on battery. Can we get you to recharge? If you just sit there, that'll be perfect. Who is low on battery? It was actually you. Okay. There's 40 starving colonists right now, and I'm looking at building another dome. I don't think that's a good idea. This is nowhere close to a harvest.
Vehicle battery low.
This is kind of close to a harvest. This one's about halfway there. These ones are low on water. And what I want to check as well is, does this work yet? No, it doesn't. That isn't even a high priority. Can we make that a high priority?
We have a water shortage.
That would be nice. I mean, the demand is, oh wow, the demand is 27.2 and we're producing 14.5. Okay, let's turn off some farms. Let's turn you off. Let's turn you off. And, I mean, that's obviously not a thing we really want to be doing, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure what the way back from this is. We are low on water. We have 79 people, 81, 82 people starving. I feel like the colony sort of grew a lot without me realizing. That's what I'm feeling right now.
Cable fault reported.
Which is frustrating, but it was gonna happen, you know? It was, these mistakes were gonna be made one way or another. So I'm not really sure. Like I said, I'm not really sure what the way back is from this. I'm wondering though, can we grab some metal from around here anywhere? There's a little bit over here. What I want to do is I want you to go, well, I kind of want you to recharge first. I want you to recharge for me and then head over this way. And I want you to get me some metal. And I want that metal to be taken up this way so we can get that evaporator up and running. Because it does need to be working. It does seem like we have the number of starving colonists going down a little bit there.
We have a food shortage.
Which is great. that does mean that we have got some food from somewhere, just obviously not much. Also, a lot of colonists moving into this dome by the looks of it.
Pipe leak reported.
A lot of colonists moving between domes, actually. Okay. I'm wondering if we can fix this problem. I'm really, really wondering if we can fix this problem. Let's see about getting another moisture evaporator. Because we can build one here. We need some polymers for it. But we could totally build... We could build a moisture evaporator there. And then we could totally build another one there. And that, I think, would be a really good idea. We need some polymers for it. So let's get a polymer storage point just there. And I think that'll be a really good thing to do. We also have this tunnel going up, which is great news. So that tunnel is now up and working, meaning there's an easy connection over to this dome, which is almost ready to construct, actually, which is
Failure reported.
beautiful news. A crop failure, on the other hand, not good news. That's bad news. That's very, very bad news. It does look, though, like we aren't having any issue with a water shortage right now. This thing still not working, but at least no water shortages. We got that going for us. You are also on the way with your metal to get that thing up and working, so that's kind of nice. This thing's almost ready to construct as well, so we are about to get a working evaporator, I think. There we go. So that one's up and running. And the production on the grid at the minute is 19, so that's fine. This one will be up and running momentarily as well. So a couple of evaporators down there, definitely seeming like a good idea. We could get one over here as well, which I think we're going to want. I think we just need as many evaporators as we can get. So I think just putting evaporator there seems like an idea. We're going to need polymer for it as well, which we do actually have. And we need metal, which can actually be shipped down here, so that's fine. We are low on electronics, metals, and food. That's... yeah, I'm well aware that we're low on all those things. I am very well aware that we are low on all of those things. I'm not happy about it, but I really don't know what to do.
We have a food shortage.
I really don't know what to do. We just kind of have to wait. I mean, these things aren't even making all that many potatoes anymore.
Pipe leak reported.
I mean, this dome here does have enough. I mean, 2.4 from the water grid per hour. What is the water grid producing right now? We have a surplus of 2.4 apparently. I'd like that surplus to be a little bit higher. I would definitely like that surplus to be a little bit higher. And also, generally, just more water would be great, because we are getting low on these oxygen tanks, and the Moxies are offline. Resilient architecture. That's great! We have 105 people starving to death, but at least the out-dome buildings aren't going to break as often. That's lovely. That's just what we want. Just what we want. Obviously, so we could obviously... what is this? A Martian-born saint? Okay. We could obviously bring some crops, some food from Earth at the moment. That is a thing we could do. I just don't know if I want to. I really don't know what it's going to do for us. Almost everybody's starving at the moment. Almost every single colonist is starving right now. We are close to some crops coming out of the farms, but it's not going to be enough. So I guess as one last attempt at making people survive, let's load a rocket up with as much food as we can put onto it. 200. Let's launch the Enterprise. And let's see what happens. You know, maybe we can do this. Maybe we can do this. I'm not certain, but it's going to be a big maybe. Anyway, you right there are doing nothing right now. So maybe going out and getting some metal could be an idea. Go grab that and then bring it back. And you're also doing nothing right now, so go and recharge. And then let's see if there's metal in any of this space over here. There is actually a decent amount of it around here, so going and grabbing that's probably a great idea. You guys could go and analyze that for me. And you could possibly analyze that, which I think will be great. And let's just double check on you. You are pretty much recharged, which is great news. So head over here and load up on metal. People are starting to die. Yeah, that seems about right, I'll be honest. That seems like it's gonna happen. Definitely seems like it's gonna happen. It's unfortunate, but we just ran into so many problems with the water. That's what can I say? It's just the reality of
Resources are low.
current situation. It's unfortunate. Really unfortunate, but it's just where we are right now. We could get more evaporators. That is a thing. We could absolutely try and, you know, throw a evaporator in there. And we could throw a evaporator over there as well. But the question just becomes, you know, do we have the resources to do this, and can we maintain it?
Sector scanned.
Because I'm
Anomaly found.
not certain that we can.
Battery low.
I guess we'll find out. I guess that's the gist of it. We're gonna find out if those 3 additional evaporators will be enough. Hopefully they will be. But there is just no guarantee at all. None whatsoever. So I guess the Enterprise is going to be our salvation. Those evaporators going up will be good for additional water. I think at this point we can go ahead and probably turn on those 2 farms again.
Crop failure reported.
We're gonna get crop failures from both of them. That's fine. Let's get the Enterprise to land, bringing in some much needed food. And who has a depleted deposit? You. Oh, that's bad. Oh no, that's bad. What is your production per hour? 3. Oh, that's bad. We need polymer over here. We need to upgrade all of the evaporators. We need to upgrade every single one of them. Otherwise, we have a major, major problem on our hands. So let's get all of those upgraded as best we can. It does seem like we had a pretty good crop come out of these 2 farms. So I think the Enterprise coming in with the food that it's bringing right now is going to save us. I do think it is going to save us here, which obviously we kind of want. So, I mean, that's nice. This dome needs metal, and I do believe, I mean, you are hauling 45 metal back. You're doing nothing at the moment. So can you maybe head out and find more metal for me by chance? Looks like there's a decent amount of it there. Possibly. Yeah, there's 59 metal right there. So you are 100% going to go out and grab as much of that as you possibly can. And you're going to bring it back to that point. So that should be good. There's still 1 starving colonist, really? You're not are you a vegan? Do they bring, like, non-vegan food? I really shouldn't joke about vegan stuff. Vegans are going to be in the comments going, I'm a vegan! But, wow. I do apologize. My opinions are not representative of... Oh, let's move on from that. All right, so I think we've ever so slightly come back from the brink here. Obviously, this building here has a depleted deposit, so we could probably just go ahead and salvage it. Since there isn't really anything else we can do with it. So we'll completely scrap that. Hopefully we can get all of the evaporators upgraded in time. But who knows? Who knows? You right here have a full staff. You have a full staff. You have a full staff and you do not. But we could probably look into upgrading all of these farms so that they all need fewer people working on them. And then, you know what? Maybe looking into getting some fungal farms as well could be an idea. Because obviously, I mean, these things take metal and electronics and concrete, but they do produce food every day. And I think that's kind of a big deal. I do think that's kind of a big deal. So I think a couple of fungal farms are going to be kind of essential here. So let's bring that down this way and to there. And let's bring that down this way to that point. And you know what? We could do a little bit of redundancy there. And obviously, they're going to need power as well. So we'll bring all of that down and the whole way around. There we go. All right, so hopefully we can get those built in a reasonable amount of time. The Enterprise is ready to leave, doesn't have anything on board, so let's ship it out. And let's hope that we never run into that situation again. I never want to have to deal with all of these constant water problems again. And the starvation and just everything. It is a nightmare. It is a complete and total nightmare. And I never want to deal with it again. I do want to see, though, is this dome built yet? No. It's getting there, though. It is apparently getting there. You are on your way with a bunch of metal. You are actually out of fuel, which is ridiculous because you're literally right there. Can I get this drone to go and, like, charge it up or something? Is that a thing you can do? It doesn't seem like it, does it? That's kind of annoying. Okay, let's get you to charge up this vehicle. Just a little bit. And then go back and sit there. And now you're going to recharge from the grid. But I also kind of want you to dump your resources off there if you wouldn't mind. So just dump all of those off. The drones will put them into storage. The shuttles will come along and grab them as needed. And then you can just recharge from the grid again. So that works out nicely. We can get a few things repaired once the shuttles go ahead and start grabbing all of the metal, which they'll do in time. And I guess the fungal farms are something that's just going to take a lot of time as well. But I think one shuttle delivery of metal and we can actually get this dome up and working. And of course, the important thing from this dome, I think, is going to be, it's going to be the metal. But we probably want to get some food production going here as well. That's definitely going to be a thing that I want, at least. We could maybe also look into... We could do power production down here. I'm wondering, I mean... I don't see any reason to not do something like a fusion reactor. It needs 8 workers per shift. So maybe this dome down here could have the reactor, a metals extractor, and possibly no farms, actually. I think that might be where we go with this one. I think that might be the way we have to go with this one. So let's do a fusion reactor. I'm thinking there. I'm thinking we do it there. I think we need the metals extractor over here, obviously. And I think we do, I think we just have it sort of face, you know, that way-ish. So something like that. We'll get the metals extractor in. So those are going to be very important buildings. The drone hub is important as well. And then obviously apartments inside of there are going to be super important too. So I guess we'll see how that plays out. Now, what are you bringing down? You're bringing some concrete? Fair enough. We do need a decent amount of concrete at the moment, so that is appreciated. But I'm thinking we also probably need... Oh, this thing needs fixed. And it needs electronics to be fixed. We also need electronics and polymers to construct shuttles. let's maybe queue up 3 more shuttles and make this a priority, because that thing needs to keep working. This is also constantly working. I wonder, do we have anyone? Could we get more people working in there? We totally can. We totally can. Beautiful. Is this dome full yet? No, it's actually kind of far from it. That's fair enough. But at least we are getting, excuse me, at least we are getting more electronics every day. That right there is fantastic news. Building performance, 82, 8.9 electronics per day. That's exactly what we want to be seeing. Now, you are making 10 machine parts per day, assuming you can get the metals for it, which obviously you can't at the moment. But that's fine. These farms are actually working pretty well, which is beautiful news. These farms are working pretty well too. I think we have properly recovered, unless we have a massive crop failure across the board. I think we have pretty much recovered from all of the problems that we were having, so that's nice. We've got that going for us. Let's have a little look at research and see what we could do, because we have 2 free slots at the moment. So, I mean, we could start looking into some of the higher end things. Shuttle cargo capacity, I think, is going to be important. We're using those a lot. That would let us construct the RC rover. That would let me construct the Mega Dome. I don't think I'm in a position to construct the Mega Dome, I'm going to be honest. I think what I need is... I really don't know, actually. Licensed technology. Lower the risk of colonists developing flaws after a sanity breakdown. Science Institute. Martian-born don't take... Yeah, let's do that. So they're born on Mars. They're kind of used to things being a bit nuts. That's basically my takeaway from that. So hopefully that is actually what that means. Because if it doesn't, that's going to be awkward. Either way, once the shuttle hub is up and working, wait, no edible food has been harvested. Oh boy. Oh, that I think that's an old alert. That's fine. As long as that's not like hey, no edible food has been harvested from literally anything, then I don't think we need to worry. Don't think that's a major concern. I am a little concerned though that we don't actually have all that much polymer, or sorry, fuel down here. Are the shuttles actually... Are they grabbing fuel? Is that a thing that they're doing? Because it doesn't seem like it. I think we may want to move a lot of fuel at the moment. So load up on fuel and move it down this way. Absolutely do that. Because I don't think the shuttles are fast enough. Obviously, if we had more of them with a larger cargo space, then sure, but it's not really an option right now, so let's just let them move about and do their thing. We'll sort of work them in conjunction with the transport trucks. As for down here, this dome is still not done. We have a major need for electronics there. We need machine parts, more electronics. Can we maybe get the dome done? And also the moisture evaporator. Domes without power, really? Are we really not producing enough power anymore? Oh, it's because you've gone offline. Right, that's a major priority. That needs fixed really, really quickly.
Resources are low.
That's kind of an urgent thing that this atomic accumulator gets back online. Also, apparently the arcology itself is in need of repairs. Or is it possible it's just the entire dome? The entire dome is in need of repairs. We need more polymer. We need more polymer. We need another polymer factory, which needs metal, concrete, and machine parts. Yay. Great. Just great. The things that we don't have a lot of. Fortunately, we can build this in there. So we'll get that built. We'll try and make it a bit of a priority as well. Because we really do. We really need more... We really need more polymer. We really do need it. It's kind of becoming... I mean, it's essential for these batteries. And if the batteries go down, we have a major problem with power, so... Definitely need to get another polymer factory up and going. What are you working on? That is actually a dome under construction. Which is amazing news, because that means we can slowly start working towards getting the metals extractor up and running as well. So that's good. We also have actually got the moisture evaporator working, so if we set that to be upgraded, we can eventually bring some polymer down to do that. We apparently have 2 domes without water right now. Why do we have a water shortage? Why do we have a water shortage? What's going on? You aren't working. And you need machine parts to be repaired, so... Hopefully one of the shuttles comes over fairly quickly with machine parts to get that up and running. There we go. So let's get that fixed, and I think that'll solve the water shortage. That might hurt our crops, though.
We have a power shortage.
This dome doesn't have water.
Select a sector.
That dome doesn't have power. That sector's been scanned, and we need to select a new one to be scanned. So let's just continue scanning down here. And we'll see how that plays out, I suppose. Why do you... I guess you guys don't have power because this thing's still offline. That kind of makes sense. Oh, this is actually being constructed. Fantastic. Get all of those work shifts going. Make that a top priority. I realize that this farm... Those farms are lacking workers. Make the farms top priorities as well. So whatever gets neglected because of the farms, I don't care. Let's just, you know, make sure... I'll even turn off research. I'll turn off the research building to make sure that the farms keep working. Let's see here. Domes without water. That is a major problem. How have we somehow hit rock bottom in water again? I'm slightly confused about this. Is it a storage issue? 1.9 stored. Production 23, demand 29. Oh, it's this. You need water as well, don't you? Okay. So we need more evaporators is kind of what that tells me. To some degree or other. I mean, we can get them. I just... It's tricky. Let's see. I guess life support. I guess pipes. I guess we bring some pipes sort of this way. And I guess we throw another moisture evaporator onto there. Although obviously we're going to want to... can I get that closer? No. We'll put it there. We're going to need to bring power to that evaporator. So we'll do that. And let's make that a high priority as well. So hopefully we can get that up and running really quickly. It's not going to provide as much water as we need, but it will at least provide something. I think we might have to turn some farms off again. Or just continue to upgrade all the evaporators, but we don't really have the polymer for it. At least not yet, anyway. We might have soon, but definitely not yet. It could also be an issue that this tank is offline. That might be part of the problem. And I'm also wondering if... I mean, what do you consume? You're consuming 1, yeah. What if we turn one of you off? And then we have a look at our needs. So there's a water shortage of 3.6. That's bad. Let's get these upgraded as well as soon as we can, just to see if that'll help a little bit. You are still offline, which is really, really bad, actually. I do really hope that... oh, this is online as well. That also... That consumes a tiny amount of water. Also, I don't know if you can hear the phone sound there, but
We have a
there was most definitely a phone sound. I think I'm about to get a phone call. We'll not worry too much about that. Domes without power. Yeah, that makes sense. We have multiple batteries offline, multiple solar panels offline as well. That totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. We need metal. We need metal to get that all fixed. Hi. This is a little overwhelming right now, I'm gonna be honest. Things are snowballing so badly. It is kind of overwhelming. I'm not really sure where the solution lies to all of this. But it's definitely, I am definitely feeling a little bit overwhelmed. There is definitely a sense of that. So I think, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call it there for this particular run of Surviving Mars. And I'm doing that for two reasons. Number one is that I want to start up a second run of it in a couple of days. So it's not going away for long. It'll be away for a couple of days. I want to start up a second run. And I want to see if we can do better. I want to see if, you know, we can maybe take control of things, make sure that all of our resources are balanced. Because I think one thing I haven't done for most of this first run is I haven't really paid attention to my resource overview. I haven't paid attention to power generation or water production. I haven't really paid attention to the water surplus. So I want to pay attention to that. I also want to see if we can maybe stay on top of things like metals and resources and all of that kind of stuff. I also think it would be an idea to maybe just go in quite hard on wind turbines versus going in quite hard on solar panels. Although I will say we probably could have just gone ahead and upgraded all of the wind turbines to have the polymer blades. That would have made them a little bit better, but whatever the case, that's reason number one. I want to try things a little differently and just try and stay on top of things, because right now I think things are just snowballing again, you know? I think the next step here, obviously low water means that the crops are going to suffer, so the next step I think is going to be a situation where we don't have crops, people start starving, and yada yada yada. It'll snowball. So that's reason number one. Reason number two is that I'm still recording this before the game's actually out, and there is going to be an update to the game before it actually releases that won't necessarily, it's not guaranteed to break my save, but there is a chance it could break my save. So rather than just be like, hey, the save broke, we have to start again, we're going to sort of take matters into our own hands and say, you know what? I've learned a lot, but unfortunately, I'm also an idiot and made a lot of mistakes. So I want to start again. I want to fix things, take it all into my own hands, and see if we can do another colony and have it be more successful than this one. We almost got to 200 colonists. That is a thing we did. We almost got to 200 colonists. But unfortunately, we didn't quite stay on top of everything we needed to stay on top of. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call it there for Season 1 of Surviving Mars. I don't think it was a catastrophic failure, but I also don't think it was a huge success either. We have some things to learn from. I think I can learn from them, and I'm excited to jump in again for another run, another colony in about a week's time. So thank you kindly for watching. Hope you've enjoyed what you've seen thus far. Thus concludes all of my pre-release recordings for Surviving Mars as well. So moving forward, I can start looking at guides and things like that to learn a bit better myself. But with that in mind, thank you kindly for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!